Hi, you're watching Wraptor Customs. This is Project 700 Widebody XF, and in this episode we're installing our freshly developed big brake kit. So for the weight, the size and the power of these cars, they're actually pretty under braked with a simple 2-piston floating front brake caliper and a solid but vented front brake disc. They actually warp quite easily under hard braking. This car shakes the steering wheel pretty badly, which is a symptom of warped brake discs, but it can be other things that cause that as well. And as you can see on the disc here, there's signs of warping. So we're going to uprate this system. So we're going to clean these hubs, which is where the brake discs sit. Okay, if these aren't cleaned perfectly, then the disc won't sit flat and you'll have the same symptom of a warped or overheated brake disc. As it rotates, it will wobble and cause a vibration in the car during braking. Get all the dirt and corrosion off where the brake disc sits. So we've cleaned the hub face where the disc sits to the extent where we haven't removed any metal, but we've removed the dirt and corrosion, and it's smooth to touch, so the disc will sit flat when mated to it. I then like to apply a very small, thin amount of high temperature copper grease. That's enough. Not so much where it's built up and the disc won't sit properly on, it won't splat everywhere when the wheel's spinning, but it will help stop this corroding so the disc remains flat. If it corrodes, it can actually push the disc out over time and again create a warped disc symptom. Okay, so it's important on some models, including this one. I'm on a 2009 XFR at the moment, that the caliper bracket actually goes on first. The reason being is your bolts go through this way, meaning you can't access them once the disc is in the way of it, rather than from the back. Obviously, it is model dependent. So we're going to fit our new precision made aluminium bracket. Going to install our new bolts. So the original ones were a 10.9 tensile. These ones are a bit stronger at 12.9. So I'm just going to put a bit of thread locking compound on there. I just like to know that they're not going to come loose, you know. Put our new bracket on before the caliper. So here's our bracket mounted. This is the left side front of the vehicle. We've got our new bolts and washers installed with some thread locking compound. I had to remove, carefully linish off just with a flappy sanding pad, this casting ridge mark here that wrapped all the way around, and the same up here as well, for us to be able to get this bracketry to sit flush and the holes line up, and also remove a very small amount of excess material on the track rod end past the nut here as well. So now we're ready to install the disc. Okay, looking good. So that's it all mounted down, new bolts, thread lock, tightened up. Checking the disc doesn't rub on any metal of the caliper, so the caliper's positioned central, and again that the pads don't rub where they shouldn't, that they made with this piece of the disc here don't overhang this way, don't rub this, everything's nice and central. So now we can hook up the hydraulic line, bleed it, check for leaks, and I think one last visual check over and we'll go on a road test.